It is time to get raw. It is time to get down. It is time for the RAWDOWN, the number one source for all things WWE, right here at the Turnbuckle Tavern. I am your host, Anthony, young Anthony of the Titantron podcast, joined as always by my co-host, Boney Khan, and we have a guest here today, the MVP, Marco himself, from the Chick Foley podcast. Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
Doing
Great.
We're doing great. You know, we're here. We're gonna make some predictions. No Straboni Dallas is in the house. I'm feeling it.
Feeling something coming. Feeling something. And I think what?
My God!
Oh, my
back here.
What I miss?
Not much. If we're talking,
I haven't seen Raw or
but,
Smackdown in the last week, so I missed nothing.
You missed absolutely nothing.
What's
folks,
going on, gentlemen?
It's
What's up?
going good. We missed you. It's glad to have you back.
Yes, I'm ready to make some predictions.
I'm
good.
as well. But before we do all of that, we need to get a rundown of everyone. And Marco, since you're the guest, how's the Chick Foley podcast doing?
Doing good. We're actually going to be recording this week something similar to what we're doing now. The day one-ish pay-per-view predictions slash everything else that we do. Like with figure talk, there's a lot of figure reveals that happened today, and a bunch of stuff that happened in the past week, which I was kind of shocked that it happened because it's holiday season. So who would have thought that the wrestling news never stops during the holidays? So we'll be covering that stuff. So yeah.
Cool. Sounds good. Boney, talk to us about coming down the aisle.
Well, literally about 10 minutes ago, just wrapped up the interview with somebody I might know, Mr. Chad from the Turnbuckle Tavern.
Nice.
I think I know him.
Yeah, we did like a little year recap of the year kind of thing, and then we watched I'm not going to give it away yet, but we watched our match of the year, so you got to stay tuned.
Nice
to watch.
Well, I know what JBone didn't pick.
I could give you two matches that he didn't pick. Talk to us about the Turnbuckle Tavern. Tell us all the great things going on over here.
Oh my gosh, we have a brand new episode of Fig Night where we're looking at the best figures of the year this week. Spoiler alert, it's already been recorded. But it'll be streaming on Thursday at 8:00. So don't miss it. And, Monday through Saturday, you get a podcast every day and maybe some days too. What do you know? Talk to me, J-Bone.
Well, I guess we'll break the big tavern news.
Go right ahead.
Starting, Marco will be joining us pretty much weekly. Kind of as we all are, we kind of filtering in and out for the most part, but Marco will be part of the RAWDOWN roster.
Welcome to the roster.
Yes.
And but as well, starting on January 5th, that is Wednesday morning, the RAWDOWN. Now, this is the idea. I got to give all credit to Young Anthony. This is Young Anthony's idea, and I thought it was a great idea. The RAWDOWN will be its own podcast in the Turnbuckle Tavern feed, just like where you can find everything else. So if you miss it on YouTube, hey, all you got to do is open up your podcast feed and go head over to Turnbuckle Tavern, the Turnbuckle Tavern. Subscribe to it first. Go over to Wednesday, find the RAWDOWN, and we'll be there. So it'll be just the audio version of what you hear every week. So. Got a lot of things planned as well as the tavern for the new year, so stay tuned for that.
Absolutely.
Speaking of podcasts, I think we have a big congratulations to our buddy J-Bone over here. Not only did he become a part of the Pod Foundation, but dude's podcast jumped up the wrestling chart list.
Yeah,
wildfire, man! Congrats, good for you. We're very happy for you, buddy.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I'm so glad that Tim Cook received his payment so that he could put me.
All good stuff.
It was definitely a surprise yesterday. Well, two surprises because I found out that I was going to be on the Pod Foundation, and then I'm just kind of cruising through the charts, just kind of bored, and I'm like, "Holy cow! All right."
Good for you, buddy.
So, thank you.
All good stuff going on all around the Pod Foundation. And we bring it right back to RAWDOWN because we have a lot to get into today. A loaded show, as it always is on the RAWDOWN. Just a quick rundown of the RAWDOWN. Ha ha. First up, we're going to be doing the first of many, hopefully, yearly award shows, end of year awards. That's going to be our first segment. Next up, we're going to jump to who won the week, Raw versus SmackDown, to get that out of the way before we get to the main event, the meat and potatoes of the show, the day one predictions, as I, your RAWDOWN champion, defends his championship this weekend. And we have a new challenger in Marco. I'm sure it's not going to matter because I'm going to defend my championship with honor.
You do realize, like, being a RAWDOWN champion is not much to brag about, right?
You know, it's really not. You have to take every
Don't like our show, bro. Come
no,
on.
I'm just knocking him. Wait, how did I do last month? I sent you in my picks, and you never even let me know how I did.
Well, if you watch the RAWDOWN, maybe you'd find out.
Exactly.
Got Stoney McGee in the house. Oh, Austin. Now we got Tyson and Austin here.
Tyson and Austin. I love it.
There we
I
go.
love it. So, with all that out of the way, I think it is time to get to our first segment.
Uh,
And now, the Turnbuckle Tavern and the RAWDOWN presents the RAWDOWN Ribbon Awards, the #1 symbol of excellence in all of sports entertainment.
I made that 5 minutes before we went on air. Welcome, everyone, to the
Your
first
talent is
annual
endless.
RAWDOWN Awards. It is, of course, the last show of 2021. And we figured here it is time to find out who was the best and the worst of WWE over the past 12 months. Boney, you have the list of awards that we are going to be giving our nominations and giving our awards to. So why don't you go ahead and give us our first RAWDOWN ribbon category?
Let's go with surprise of the year.
Ooh, surprise of the year. Now, there were many surprises.
Are there?
Yeah, I mean, it
I was
depends.
just going to think of the surprise of the year is that there was no surprises.
Yeah, right. Depends on your definition of surprises, but both in and out of the ring, I think we saw a lot of surprises. And I think, you know, who wants to go first? I won't put anyone on the spot, but who wants to give their award first?
I'm going to say The Fiend being released, Bray Wyatt.
Definitely a big surprise there.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Kind of bouncing off that. That's kind of where I was going to go, but just the amount of releases this year overall. Now, I'm going to be honest. Maybe some are warranted. You know,
Of course, some are.
but
Yeah.
I think the not only with the Fiend, but the amount of former world champions released. That's you've never seen that. Not off of at least just outright a release, not because of anything they've done, outside the ring or some controversy they've gotten into, but just like, yeah, see ya. Like Braun Strowman, like gone, like former world champion, see ya. Bray Wyatt, Jeff Hardy, the list goes on, just gone,
Marco, what are you thinking?
Man, surprise of the year. I'm gonna have to go with the recent one. I'm gonna say the firing of the head of the tables, consigliere right there is Paul Heyman. Just give him the boot or the Superman punch off the island of relevancy, we'll say. But yeah, I think that was a big surprise. I thought they were gonna keep that storyline going. I know there was a lot of. I mean, I'm on Twitter. I run the Chick-fil-A show Twitter, so I peruse a lot during the shows and stuff. And there's a lot of they need to end this storyline. This is dragging on, blah blah blah, all that stuff. But I kind of wish they didn't. I wish I kind of dragged it on into maybe WrestleMania. Past Royal Rumble into WrestleMania and kept is Paul Heyman with. But they really didn't answer it yet. If he's with Brock Lesnar, this could all be a whole ruse where taking on he's going to take over on Brock Lesnar's side, and once that match happens on day one, he switches sides and stuff like that. But I wish they just went into the new year with the storyline, and then kind of like WrestleMania would have been the end of that storyline. But yeah, I'm going to say the surprise was, like I said, the firing of Paul Heyman. That was quite a run for those two, I think.
Yeah.
I have some thoughts on that later on in the show. Go ahead.
I have a point just to make that because I wasn't here last week, but that segment with him being fired was my favorite segment I've seen produced by WWE in a long time.
Yeah.
It was like an old school turning type of thing. It was done so well. I loved everything about it.
It reminded me of the thumbs up, thumbs down with Triple H and Batista,
And it even reminds me of all things with Hogan and like trying to buy the belt, like Ted DiBiase trying to buy his championship and other things like that. Like it just had that old school feel to it. It was very well done. Yeah,
it reminded me more of like a mafia movie, like Goodfellas or something like that, where like Roman Reigns is you knew it was gonna happen. It was like, if you've seen Goodfellas, it was when Tommy walks into that empty room with the two guys. That's what it pretty much was like right there. If you guys, if anyone hasn't seen that movie, definitely watch it. If you're young,
I got
parental discretion advised. But
a very good surprise. If you're talking about in ring, what about the fact of Christian returning at the Royal Rumble?
Yeah,
that's a good one too.
Yeah.
It happened so long ago that I forget that it was this year.
And he's been in AEW, it seems like forever. So like you forget it, but it was January. So and he made it to the Final Four.
Yeah.
So
a lot of different surprises this year. I was actually going to go with the releases too, but something that really caught me off guard, and I think it caught a lot of people off guard, something that we just talked about last week, NXT 2.0 being rebranded out of nowhere. I thought that was just from out of left field. It looks like they're still trying to figure out what 2.0 is. It looks like
Guts, Nickelodeon Guts.
Oh yeah, exactly.
You have it, Guts.
Next week there's going to be slime spilled on the guys. Whoever loses gets the slime spilled on.
Oh man.
Yeah. Stay tuned next week for our special guest, SpongeBob SquarePants.
Dude, if they have, oh my god!
Slime on a pole match.
It looks to be a developmental. There's some promising talent on there, but for the most part, it's very strange. So I will call it a big surprise and the surprise of the year.
That's a good
but
call
so
too.
many different things that we could have picked from. But I think that was a solid list. Boney, what are we going to next? The next RAWDOWN Ribbon Award.
Let's go with, and I'll start off of this one. Let's go with worst angle of the year.
Oof.
In WWE?
WWE, yes.
Anything but Roman.
I'm joking.
Anything but Roman.
There's a lot of bad stuff. My worst angle, which is also the worst angle in wrestling history this year, wrestling in whole, was the return and the heel turn of Becky Lynch.
Wow.
Ooh, that's a great one.
That's a bold pick.
I like it a lot. He's actually on point with that.
I think it was completely awful for many different reasons. You have, and I actually talked about this. You'll hear me talk about this on my podcast this week. But, you had Becky, who was just, people were just, anticipating her return. And they just do this weird, like, kind of surprise return. But at the same time, you have Bianca Belair, who, in my opinion, is obviously she's voted by the best wrestler, but I think she's top 25 wrestlers in the world right now. Like, just her character work, the way she handles herself, the way, in the ring, out of the ring, on the mic, character work, all that good stuff. She had that phenomenal match with Sasha. Going into it, there was some stumble blocks that were her fault, with Bayley getting hurt and COVID stuff and all that stuff. I think they didn't give her a chance, and they made that title switch like that. Off of 26 seconds. 26 seconds, you have somebody, and she's now starting to kind of recover from that, and maybe they're wanting her to fight underneath, which is okay, that's fine, but I think you really ruined two women right there. Not ruined, I shouldn't say that. That's maybe a little too strong, but really you just didn't do them any favors. In Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair, two of not only your best women athletes, but best superstars overall in the company.
I feel like you make a great point. I feel like it was even worse for Becky because you had somebody they've been chanting for during the whole pandemic and trying to get her back, and then they do that for her.
Yeah.
Bianca's so young; she's gonna bounce back. She's gonna be fine. I'm not worried about her.
Yeah.
Marco, what you got? Worst angle of the year?
Oh man, I was actually gonna go with that one, but I'm not sure if there's really an angle, but I kind of found it weird that you bring Shotzi into SmackDown and then you turn her heel.
Yeah.
But she's clearly not a heel. her whole gimmick with the helmet, the tank, and all that stuff. It's like they took that all away.
So strange that they did all that.
Yeah, it's like she was good. Obviously, she was teamed up with Tegan Knox, but obviously Tegan got released as well early in the year, so that kind of left her. I mean, I think she would have done well on her own anyway, Shotzi, because she was a singles competitor in NXT anyway. But it was just weird. Like just to turn her heel it's just baffling to me. Like have her team up with Sasha Banks, don't have her beat up Sasha Banks. Like she's a young up and coming talent, and obviously Sasha's not on her way out, but she is a veteran in that sense. Have her team up with, but it seems like they took Toni Storm and put Toni Storm in that position. But I mean, it just so baffles me that she's technically a heel, and I don't see her as a heel. I mean, if you're new to her and you never watched NXT, I can see it, but because of her look. But other than that, I just thought it was weird as an angle to have her flip out and beat up Sasha Banks because of a match that she was going to have with. It was just weird to me personally.
The whole women's division was just booked so terribly this year.
Yeah,
all across the board.
The only thing that was actually decent is the Liv Morgan story.
Yeah.
I feel like there were so
Rhea
many
Ripley,
heel turns.
Charlotte.
I feel like there were so many heel turns this year that they just had no reason for Shotzi, Becky Lynch, Keith Lee, like so many people that turned heel for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
I agree.
I don't know. But Tom, what was your worst angle of the year? if you could narrow it down to one, please.
Just Goldberg coming back again.
That's always a good go-to.
I don't need
Which
to
time?
see him come back.
Which time?
Yeah, exactly.
Which time?
Every time.
Yeah, you know what? I'll agree with Tom on that. That storyline was pretty bad too with him and Bobby Lashley. And
then he comes back and he's threatening. He's like, "I'm gonna kill you." Like WWE doesn't want violence, but he could say he's gonna go and kill him.
Yeah, he's
right.
It's so stupid.
So I have two angles specifically that I could not pick from.
Young Anthony, do you
yes.
guys pay the electric bill in Brooklyn?
Let me turn my brightness up. All right. Anyway,
there you go.
So,
well,
yeah,
first
no,
second, we got to see that cute little baby face. Go ahead.
Anyways, so
he's actually shaved today. He got a razor for Christmas.
Yes, I did. No, I did this for Christmas because I could not stand the beard. Anyways, number one.
Neither could I.
For a more recent entry, and Boney probably already knows that I'm going to pick this one. It's the Drew McIntyre on Happy Talk, the Happy Corbin segment, pulling the sword out of the desk, which I thought was the worst thing to come out of this year. It was so cringy. It was so bad. Dutch Mantel even said that it was the worst segment of the year. You know it's bad. However, a close second, because I'll probably put that one as my number one, but a close second, and I'm surprised no one's mentioned this so far, the Zombies.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, the ad placement and what was that, Extreme Rules, right? The Extreme Rules
I think it was Backlash.
Was it Backlash? Or was it
yeah.
It was WrestleMania Backlash. You're right.
Oh, that's what
WrestleMania Backlash.
Yeah. And then the Miz got hurt when they ate his brains and stuff.
Yeah, that was actually pretty bad. You're right.
I actually
forgot about that.
You know what? I think we have a tie. I think we all were good with them.
Or erase that from our memories. That's why we didn't bring it up.
Yeah, no, that's very fair.
Also
oh my
the
gosh,
egg.
It was so bad. Oh, the egg. Where's my
yeah,
egg?
the egg. Jeez.
I didn't hate the egg.
My one.
Yeah, the
Oh
egg
my
was-
god.
Egg, damn it.
Vince was entertaining with the egg. Come
No,
I
on.
love
because
the egg.
I
love
enjoyed the
it.
movie and they ruined it for me. Now I can never watch it again.
Yeah.
Now let's bring up Tyson, because Tyson here, he made his worst of the year, and I don't agree with this because I want to see where it's going. The
Yeah,
Austin
I was gonna
Theory
actually
storyline
say
with
that.
Vince.
You
It's
know,
a good call, Tyson.
hot
Good
take.
call.
No, that's not bad.
it's
I love
getting
it.
there. It's
It's-
getting bad.
I think,
We
Weird.
need to start capitalizing on it.
as
and
I
doing
talked about
something.
last week, I think McMahon's gonna be in his corner versus someone that Austin's gonna pick, and Austin's gonna be in that person's corner, and we're gonna
Yeah,
get Austin versus McMahon
That was a good
for the
prediction.
last time.
I love that prediction.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
So is
Yeah.
Austin, you think Austin's going to pick like another like young talent or
I kind of floated the idea maybe like Damian Priest. You know,
okay, all right,
That could be a good one.
yeah.
that could be a good one. Yeah,
You know, kind of similar to Battle of the Billionaires, except we don't have we don't have Orange Man in one corner.
Well, because
I
you
like
need
that.
Austin at Mania. Like if you're gonna be in
Oh,
Texas,
no
and
doubt
everything-
he'll be there.
Yeah.
And he's
Oh,
He'll
yeah.
be there in some capacity.
Even with the
Yeah.
rumors that they're saying that he's going to be there, but he's in a big role. I don't know
Yeah.
what that means, but
Right.
Huh.
Yeah. we'll find out. But I do like that prediction.
Yeah.
Boney, what's our next ribbon
Well,
category?
This one's gonna be an easy category because I'm pretty sure we're gonna have all the same thing here. Wrestler of the year. Wrestler of the year.
Hook.
Talking WWE.
This is WWE. Yeah, I mean, I wish.
Sin Veer.
Veer, there we go. Veer is the
Veer.
wrestler of the year. It rhymes with the year, so Veer,
Wrestler of the year. There you go.
Wrestler of the V.
wrestler of the Veer.
Oh, God.
I think it's unique. I mean,
Does anyone come close to Roman? I think that's the better question.
Well,
The-
you could make a debate, even though this person's in AEW right now, Daniel Bryan. You know, half the year you can make that argument.
Can't make that argument.
You can make the argument for
can't?
Edge,
no.
You can
know.
make the argument for Edge.
Yeah.
Seth
Lashley?
Rollins.
Maybe Lashley.
Lashley's
Yeah.
not a bad pick.
You know, Lashley's not bad, but God,
They- I mean, you could make the argument for Daniel Bryan if we're gonna add AEW because I read some like statistic where he wrestled like probably like
17
quadruple,
matches.
quadruple the amount of times in AEW this past just in this short amount of time that
He
did in
wrestled
WWE.
17
Yeah.
matches in AEW this year, 17
Yep.
matches in WWE. All the singles matches in WWE were
Yep.
against 4 opponents, and the single matches in AEW were against 16 opponents.
Yeah,
golly.
which is insane. So like,
Yes.
just in that short amount of time, he's like, oh, I gotta catch up, and he just like started doing all these matches.
I mean, he
Um,
did
Roman's
have
two
some
best
good matches.
this year was the main
Oh.
event at WrestleMania and a solo match versus Daniel Bryan on SmackDown.
Yeah, his Daniel Bryan's
Mhm.
last match. Yeah,
Yeah, so-
Yeah.
Although I actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that statistic I saw that's actually inaccurate because he wrestled in an elimination chamber against 5 people.
that wasn't counted in there.
Why was that not counted?
Tag
It's a
tag
match.
They
matches
say
and that.
singles?
They counted
Oh,
tag
okay. Oh,
matches
they're
in
just
that, yeah.
okay. They're just
We're
talking about
talking
single
single
matches.
matches.
And Boney
Okay.
thought he was onto something there.
All right,
Yeah.
all right.
You can't only
So
fight
that was
4
in a-
people. It's
In
an
the list of
elimination chamber.
stats,
You're
that
facing
was all
5
listed
people.
there. That was all
But yeah,
listed there.
I mean, for WWE, you could definitely everyone. It's unanimous for Roman, but obviously if you're going to continue in WWE, you could probably say maybe Big E because his kind of like rise to the top there.
That's true.
You go Bianca too as well.
You could go Bianca too. Yeah.
Oh,
that's a
you
good point.
could definitely.
If you want Charlotte as well because she's always consistent in that sense. I mean,
I
I'm
think
not picking Roman. I know that
why not?
because he's not the wrestler of the year. He's the
Okay.
story of the year.
in WWE.
Yeah,
in
he's the
WWE.
story of the year. He had the
But
best
who's-
character.
Okay,
of the
so
year.
who's the wrestler? of the year?
Wrestling wise, he's not. I mean, like you said, Daniel Bryan was better. There's so many guys who are better than him in wrestling wise. Finn Balor's better in the ring. Like, I'm talking wrestling
I'm not-
wise.
I'm
If
not
you say
just talking- I'm
story
gonna say-
character of the year,
That
I
comes
would
down
agree
to
with
like
Roman.
in-ring talent of the
Yeah.
year, I
Right.
would say.
Right.
Like
yeah.
wrestler
I'm just
Yeah,
talking about
but
the
wrestler of the
overall.
year, I'm thinking of a
Overall.
wrestler. You're not, you know.
Yeah.
Okay,
Not a very good
performer of
wrestler.
the year.
Roman was in some of the better matches on the year. I would
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
again,
mean, that
Chris-
match with Finn Balor was pretty awesome as well.
Yeah, because it was against Finn Balor. Like when
Yeah.
he's in there with good guys, his matches are better.
Yeah. I
think he elevates people too.
No, he doesn't elevate nobody. He hasn't elevated anybody in the ring.
No, you're nuts. You're
Like
crazy.
he's the same thing as Cena in the ring. If anything, Cena's better than him in the ring.
Oh,
Well, yeah.
my
Well,
God.
that's just
Oh, my
because Cena's
God.
been able to elevate himself in the ring.
Yeah.
You know,
He's
able to. I would say Cena's able to be like adapted within the last few years. Like he's starting to do new moves and stuff.
Yeah.
He did that his last few years. He absolutely did.
Mhm. So that's why I would say Cena.
I would love to see Roman start doing that a little bit.
Maybe. But
I love it.
He's gonna puke.
he's gonna.
But
Oh,
character storyline wise, without a doubt, it's the head of the table.
All right.
Yeah.
All
100%.
We'll go with
Cool.
that. All right.
All right, that's what we'll go with.
Well, 3 out of 4 of us believe
Jesus
that
H.
the head of the
Christ.
table
That
is
sounds
wrestler of the year.
right.
Boney, what is the next ribbon?
Let's do pay-per-view of the year.
Ooh. For WWE.
I'm going way back to January with the Royal Rumble just because I love the Rumble.
That was definitely that was a
That
good
was
one.
a good pay-per-view.
I'm gonna go with an NXT pay-per-view.
Ooh, okay.
NXT 36, the final takeover.
That was good.
Yeah.
You had some real banger matches. Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole.
That was
Dragunov
a great
versus
match, right?
Dragunov versus Walter.
Oh man.
And Samoa Joe versus Karrion Kross. I really enjoyed the Cameron Grimes and LA Knight storyline.
Yep. That was
So
actually. Yep.
That's a good
You
pick,
know.
Boney. That's a really good pick.
Yeah.
That was a really good pick.
So that's my. Of course it is because I picked it.
You also picked Roman Reigns for Wrestler of the Year.
Oh,
okay. All right. Yeah. Anyways, that's who I got for pay-per-view of the year. Anybody else?
Marco, who do you got?
I think you got to go Wrestlemania Backlash, right? No, I'm joking.
Zombies.
Wrestlemania
It
Backlash.
wasn't a terrible. That had Roman and Cesaro. It had that triple threat for the WWE title. I mean, it wasn't hard, but it had the zombies. So like, it's automatically the worst pay per view.
Actually,
and the
it wasn't
title.
a bad pay-per-view thinking back to it.
No, it wasn't.
I agree. It really wasn't a bad pay-per-view.
No, so the thing I think throughout the year for WWE is like minus like the recent NXT 2.0 stuff, like their pay-per-views, or if you want to call them pay-per-views. The pay-per-views were like they weren't really bad ones during the year. I think they kind of kept it like, I don't want to say mild, but they kept it in the vein where like we're just gonna stay like consistently good on these things and deliver on these things and not go above and beyond. Obviously that's the WrestleManias and the SummerSlams and stuff like that. But those other pay-per-views that they throw, I think I'm gonna go with Crown Jewel actually as a pay, because that pay-per-view top to bottom was definitely solid. The Hell in a Cell match and Edge and Seth Rollins obviously was the match, like that was the go-to match for that. Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar was awesome. Just that whole pay-per-view top to bottom I thought was really good. That was like one of the few, actually, since it's been in its inception, that's the only one that I've actually really enjoyed from top to bottom. Was Crown Jewel anyway. So
That's a good pick.
Yeah, but I go with that.
If you were to say Crown Jewel like a few years from now, I would have just kicked you off this.
Oh,
chat.
oh yeah, of course.
Like,
I mean, I would, and I wouldn't even, I just take the pick.
No,
You would
but
have just
like,
leave.
looking back on it, like it was a really good. Like you had Seth and Edge on that. Like Roman and Brock was great. Even like the King of the Ring stuff. Like I thought that was all cool.
Yeah, the King of the Ring.
That's a really good.
Goldberg and Lashley too was actually really good. And, it was a little boring at the beginning, but then when they took the match out of the ring and like fought all around the arena, that's when it got really good. But I'm gonna go with that. I thought it was pretty entertaining.
And the crowd,
as they like to say.
you had legitimate crowd in there instead of like Saudi princes in there.
That was the other thing too. I think that's what changed about it. I think that was like the first time they actually had like actual fans in the arena instead of like that whole around the ring roped off with all like Saudi officials and
and their couches.
Like yeah, exactly.
Just chilling. Oh my god, such a weird visual. Could you imagine sitting at WrestleMania in a couch front row?
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
just
Be
like
kinda
the
awesome.
White House, just sitting around the ring, just like the Supreme Court, just sitting around on one side. That'd be so weird seeing that.
I know. I'm
mean,
gonna
Anthony,
go with
what's your
Tom on
pick?
this one. I'm gonna go with Tom with the Royal
Smart
Rumble,
pick.
just because there were so many like really good moments, like Bianca and Rhea being the final two in the
yeah.
Rumble.
Two good
Christian
Rumble matches.
returning. What was that?
It was 2 good Rumble matches.
It was, and you even had
Yeah.
KO and Reigns, which was great. I really
Yeah.
like Drew and Goldberg, as funny as enough as it is, but like I don't know, I thought it was a really just fun match. I don't know, there was a lot of even like Carlito coming out. I thought
Yeah.
was really
Yeah.
That
cool.
was good.
So
You got the-
I don't know. I'll go with the Rumble also. I think that
Yeah.
was a really good show.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
he couldn't spit in the face of people who aren't cool.
True,
Yeah.
yeah,
Because that's not very nice. COVID reasons.
Exactly.
that'd be True.
Nowadays they don't really care because they're not going to test them. But anyway,
Oh man.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Yee.
And then but yeah, so I think really good picks overall for pay-per-view of the year.
couple honorable mentions too. Is one I was just thinking about is the Stay and Deliver, the Celine Dion track.
Stand and deliver.
The NXT, there was the WrestleMania NXT pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that was also really good. It was 2 nights, and then probably the first night of WrestleMania was really good. Second
yes.
night, not so good, but
Money in the Bank too was a pretty good show with Cena's
it was-
return.
yeah, it was good. It was good. Like Hawk says, it's fine.
That's fine. Tony,
Uh,
what is our final ribbon category for the inaugural?
This was tough
Ribbon Award.
because you could go many different ways on this, but I've got match of the year in WWE. Anybody want to start off?
I'll start this one off. I
Go
will
ahead,
go
young
ahead
Anthony.
and say Edge versus Seth Rollins at Crown Jewel.
Yeah,
There you go.
Just
was a solid match. That was a
Hell in
great
Cell.
match.
It was a really long match, but like they got all the spots in. I thought it was really. You could really put any of the Edge and Seth Rollins matches up there as
Yeah.
like they really had a great feud. Probably like one of the better feuds of the year in wrestling. Period.
Yeah.
They did a just phenomenal job in all the matches, but Crown Jewel specifically, I guess just I thought it was a random inclusion of Hell in a Cell, but like it makes sense for that story because that's how Hell in a Cell is supposed to be used.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was just a really great match. I want to go back and watch that match actually because
Yeah.
it was really fun. But
All right,
I'll
we'll
go with
wait.
that one.
Oh, you mean later.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's great.
I'm gonna go with Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns, his last match in WWE. Like,
Okay.
Daniel Bryan just
That
had a
is a good
hell of
match.
a year.
yeah, he did.
True.
Man, there's many different ways I could go. Walter versus Dragunov. That was
That's
great.
such a good pick.
It was that's good. That's on my pick, but it's so good. Mainly the reason why it's not mine, I didn't know too much about the background story. I mean, the match itself was great. Man, there's a lot. I like the Hell in a Cell. I think because I know their history, and this kind of was like surprise match. Very surprisingly good. Like way exceeded any expectations. Cesaro versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania Night 1.
Deep pick, deep cut, love it.
I mean, like, if you know of Ring of Honor and they know their history going into this, and know that they're good friends, and then they kind of use that. It was really under the radar, like and I just thought, man, they just tore the house down, and it got me excited for WrestleMania because I wasn't excited for WrestleMania at all. That was the match. I was like, okay, all right, well, now we got a pay-per-view. So in the biggest spectacle of the year, biggest pay-per-view, they probably had the best match, between the 2 nights. Between Bianca and Sasha, that was good. Bad Bunny's appearance, you can even almost argue that a little bit, but I'm going to go with Cesaro and Seth Rollins.
Good
Wow.
pick.
I thought that match let me down. I expected it to be so much better than it was.
Really?
I think I
Wow.
expected too much out of it. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, maybe
You
so.
can see that.
I can see that. I'll give you that.
I love the airplane spin. That's such
Yeah.
a good move.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Or what is it called? The UFO or something?
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever he spins.
It's
him on
such an
the
old school move. I love it.
Yeah.
So,
Marco, what's your pick?
I'm gonna go with Walter and Dragunov as the as my match of the year. Only because I do know their background. And if you've seen their first match on NXT UK, like the very first time Dragunov fought for the title, that was way more brutal than this match. Like they're beating the living like crap out of each other. That match actually might be the match of the year, the very first time they met. But yeah, just any of Walter's like championship matches, you can just go back and watch any of them, and they're pretty much flawless. That dude is
their fights.
he fights. He's a fighter. He is a. I mean, obviously he's the ring general as he calls himself. And I remember I think Jericho like a while back, maybe it was earlier this year or last year. He when Walter was like, his name was like popping up and stuff like that, and Jericho tweeted out. He's like, there's a wrestler named Walter. Like, it's just a weird name, but then when you see him, it's like, holy shit! He can be named that just by the way. I mean, the way he looks, as well as his in-ring skill. But yeah, that match is. I mean, I like more of the brutal matches. I enjoy. A lot of people don't enjoy death matches and stuff like that. I'm not like I don't like to watch them like constantly, but I do enjoy them. But the matches in between a regular wrestling match and a death match are these type of like strong style type matches, and those are probably like my favorite type. Just people laying it in, just straight shooting throughout the whole match, and obviously sprinkling a little bit of technical wrestling in there. Just makes it better. But yeah, no, I'm definitely going with that one. That was definitely go back and watch that if you have the time to do so.
Yeah, absolutely. I made sure to watch that. Like I don't usually watch the takeovers in these last few years. Within this last few years, just because like I'm not really that big on NXT anymore as much as I used to be, but like I made sure to watch that match because I knew it was going to be amazing.
I don't even know who Dragunov is. How bad is that?
Oh yeah, I think you'd like them though. See, I think you enjoy I think you enjoy NXT UK. I think that's more of your
they
speed.
got to be like one of the more underrated companies.
Yeah.
Like they're putting on some of the best in-ring products.
Yeah.
They're not
Just no one's talking
being
about
on national television here, and Vince isn't ruining it yet.
Yeah, no, exactly. So like, no, they're like the last beacon of hope for the WWE. They're like,
But yeah, I mean, some solid picks overall. Listeners, watchers, if you are still here with us, make sure to drop your Raw Down ribbon nominees for all the categories that we mentioned. But until then, that concludes the first annual.
And now, the Turnbuckle Tavern and the RAWDOWN presents the RAWDOWN Ribbon Awards, the #1 symbol of excellence in all of sports entertainment.
I really just wanted an excuse to play
That's
that
great.
song again.
I love
that. That sounds like is that guy in witness protection?
That might be my new favorite thing. Look at this. Wait, hold on. Don't show the comment.
Okay.
No. We're not.
Thank you very much.
We might have to block that user. The first blocked user in
Yeah, I
all
think
of
he's
the
smart.
Turnbuckle Tavern's history.
He's a mark for
Is
himself.
T-Mon Tomato? What does that say? It doesn't matter. Anyways, so that concludes the awards show. Hope everyone enjoyed our picks. It is now time to move on to Who Won the Week. Folks, fellas, who won the week?
I did because I didn't watch either show.
I'm gonna go with that.
I don't even
Yeah,
remember if
you
I
won.
watched SmackDown, to be honest. I know I watched bits and pieces of Raw. I don't know if I remembered SmackDown. While I pull
SmackDown
up what
was-
happened on Raw and SmackDown, someone talk about your favorite match from this week. Let's go with Marco.
I love Tyson.
Let's see. I agree with that, dude. Tyson.
Agrees the
Tyson's
OG
awesome.
pick hit is the best. Who could blame him?
I mean, he's not wrong. Definitely not
That's
wrong.
right. That's why we call
Um,
you the MVP, Marco.
See, I mean, I aim to please everyone. If I'm gonna pick a match of the week, let's see. I might go with Charlotte and Toni Storm from SmackDown. That the SmackDown Championship match that they had. There was a lot of near falls on that one. I knew Tony wasn't gonna win, but
Was it a pie on a pole match?
No, not that. No, see that almost
There were
ruined it for
two
me.
pies.
I like the storyline that they're doing, but yeah, just the pies and stuff. I mean, it's WWE, so they're gonna do they're gonna try to do like those wacky hijink type of things. But for me, Charlotte doesn't belong in those type of storylines. She's a little bit above that anyway. But because it just looked awkward when they did that pie in the face thing. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go with that one for match of the week. I would have picked something from Raw, but Raw was completely reshuffled. Yeah, it was. Yeah, they had to rewrite it and all that stuff because obviously.
So I really missed nothing, huh?
No, you really didn't.
Dude,
Well,
is the
before we
first
go
time.
any further, let me go ahead and give the results for SmackDown and Raw just to update everyone that didn't watch. We had Paul Heyman pondered what may be the end of his career after being fired by Roman Reigns.
That was the only good part of SmackDown.
I want to watch that.
That
I have to
looked
go back
very
and watch
good.
that.
Charlotte Flair defeated Toni Storm to retain her title. I'm not going to go through all these different 12-man stuff, but Sami Zayn won the gauntlet to earn an Intercontinental title match.
Yeah.
I think he finally pinned Ricochet. Yep, he pinned Ricochet to win. And then Drew McIntyre and the New Day defeated the Usos and my favorite wrestler and yours, Madcap Moss, in a 6-man tag team Miracle on 34th Street fight. And then we go over to Raw, where we see Riddle defeating Chad Gable, Randy Orton defeating Otis, some 24/7 bullshit. We had the Street Profits defeating Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio in the RK Bronament finals. AJ Styles defeating Apollo Crews. Kevin Owens defeating Cedric Alexander. My favorite wrestler, Dolph Ziggler, defeating the United States champion, Damian Priest, via disqualification. And Eric Bischoff making his triumphant return to the WWE, being part of a bloodbath, or should I call it a black goo bath?
Yeah.
Due to Edge spoiling the Miz and Maurice's wedding vow renewal. So much great
see that at
stuff.
SummerSlam? Like, didn't it
Yeah,
happen
it's
SummerSlam?
like you said, they're taking some of Nickelodeon and bringing it to the main roster.
I'm gonna rewind back a little bit in that Raw, because of the Randy Orton match. I really wish. I mean, it's a stupid storyline, but I really wish they would have like extended it to like Royal Rumble. Because if you guys have been watching, like he wasn't able to hit the RKO on Otis. Like it was like nearly impossible for him to do it. Like he just go to grab him, he push him off or toss him. I wish they kind of like extended it to Royal Rumble. So like maybe during the Royal Rumble match, you get that huge pop when he finally, Otis is in the Rumble, just like, taking care of people, tossing people left and right. And then Randy Orton comes in and finally, drops the RK on him and throws him. Just so, not extending it to the point where it has to be a storyline. But
Marco, that's too much logic and too much story.
I know.
We're thinking 2 weeks tops for a story. You're talking about something that's 4 weeks, but nevertheless.
But I enjoyed it. It was just like, you got to see Randy Orton, which is, I mean, he's great as well. Like, you get to see him frustrated that he actually couldn't do it. There was someone that could actually, push him away. Like, actually, like, just pick him up and toss him and try. It was just, I thought it was pretty cool.
It showed off Otis a little bit because he suffered.
It helped him out. But what do I know? Just said,
right.
Yeah, you're just a stupid fan.
Yeah,
like all of us.
I would have to say my match of the week has to go to the Street Profits and the Mysterios. I thought they put on a really good match. A lot of near falls. Made all 4 guys look really good.
Yep.
So I'll have to go with that one. Boney, do you have a match of the week, and why is it the Miracle on 34th Street?
I would have to say probably Toni Storm. It's not. I would say the Toni Storm Charlotte match was probably my match of the week. As far as who won, they both lost. There was not a winner. I'm not going to declare a winner this week. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Tom.
no, yeah.
My wife's like, "Do you mind if I watch Raw alone?" I'm like, "Does that mean I don't have to watch it?" She goes, "Well, if you don't want to," I'm like, "Go ahead."
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
I
it
mean,
was bad.
there's
It
no
was bad.
real reason to go into more detail about Raw or SmackDown. It was just a blah week. The reason why I didn't watch was because it fell on Christmas Eve. So why would I watch WWE on a holiday? That's the main question.
Well, and then Raw, and we can talk about it. This kind of transitions maybe to some outside the ring news. Raw or WWE is battling COVID issues, and
They're not. No, they're not. Shh, shh, shh. No, they're not. No, they're not. Sweep it under the rug. We're gonna be
Right.
fine. Day one. Shh, shh, we're all good.
Let's just
Yeah.
cancel COVID tests while we're at it.
yeah, so
Yeah.
cancel COVID test. So yeah, let's alienate our top star Roman Reigns and make sure that he doesn't show up to future events. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Man, they're batting 1,000 over there. I'm not going to get into the COVID fake bullshit. That you see on, because everybody hears enough of that crap. But you have these protocols set up, and you're going to stop doing it, and then now all of a sudden you've got half your talent. And let's bring it back to when we were talking about surprise of the year. They cut half of their freaking roster. So now they're really screwed. Like, you got now mid-carders that are probably that you haven't shown in a month that might need a step in a spot.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous, And who knows what's going to happen with day one? We're about to give our predictions, but I mean, if you look, I don't know when Seth Rollins, for instance, he said he had COVID on Christmas. Let's say he found out about it Christmas Eve. Okay, if you have that 10-day window.
Well, CDC just cut it down to 5 days.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't realize that. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
that was just
there you
announced
go.
yesterday.
Okay,
So,
but is that
I
if
mean,
you're
we can
vaccinated?
criticize Vince for getting rid of the COVID test, which is stupid at this point. But when in the middle of the numbers spiking, CDC's coming out and saying, "Oh,
Right.
you only have to quarantine 5 days." None of it makes sense. But we're not here to be political and talk
Right.
and debate all that.
For more talk about the vaccine, you can check out every Thursday for Waxed and Vaxxed. Call the Hawk himself. But nevertheless, I'll give it to Raw this week just to get back on topic because
All
I
right.
did like
Nice.
the.
Sorry, I didn't mean to step on that, but
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
but I wanted to bring that up because I mean, I
It's-
didn't know if it was gonna, but the 5-day thing definitely is
Yeah.
different. So.
Yeah, I mean, no, you can definitely bring it up because you lost literally all the stars of Raw. Like they're all except, I mean, obviously Kevin Owens was there, but Big E, your champion, is out. Becky Lynch, so that takes away Liv Morgan and time for her.
Ooh.
Essentially, Seth Rollins. I mean, he's involved in that. But no Bobby Lashley either. They didn't mention him.
I'm just gonna say this.
So he
It
wasn't there either.
leaves some excitement for day one because a lot of times when I have to go in and just throw something together, it turns out to be so well. Like the
I mean-
initial, after Crown Jewel, remember that SmackDown when the plane didn't leave and they had to call up the NXT guys? How
Mhm.
good that show was. We got
Like-
Adam Cole versus
Well,
Daniel Bryan.
This is when you actually had good talent on NXT.
Like
But hey, listen, maybe Ron Breaker shows up at day one. You just
like
know.
Kurt Angle becoming the third member of the Shield.
I was just
Yeah.
about to mention that.
That was pretty
That
awesome.
was
But
very cool.
yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, they did this last time with Sasha and Bianca for SummerSlam. Remember they were like they advertised it all the way up to the pay-per-view, and then they switched out. So that's a possibility. It could happen. I mean, they're still advertising Roman Reigns and.
Hey, listen, some of
Brock
these guys,
Lesnar.
they could still call that are waiting out there 90-day compete clauses. Hey, we need you. Get
That's
over
true.
here.
I mean, it's a possibility. I mean,
Yeah.
they probably don't want to come back, but I mean,
Hey, if Heath could do it, anybody can.
true.
True. I always forget that happened.
Harry,
What a
man.
great angle.
I just want to wrestle.
I got kids. Yeah, I am looking forward to seeing if there are some changes to the card, what they do about it. Because when their backs are up against the wall, WWE knows how to put on something good. I will give it to them. They always pull something out. So if it's the case that they are losing a few guys, I wonder what they're going to do, if they're going to bring up some NXT guys or if they're just going to fill in the gaps with other guys. But we're going to have to wait and see.
What figure is he talking about?
Is he talking about the Sting or
the Cody?
Cody.
The Cody.
Probably the Cody.
I mean,
Oh, the
Cody's,
MVP.
Cody's the greatest.
I love this Cody run right now, but we're
No
not here to talk
comment.
about that.
It's great.
Cody's
the GOAT.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
But anyways, enough talk about Raw and SmackDown because there's only so much that we could talk about that for. It is time to get into our main event for the RAWDOWN. This week, it is time to defend the RAWDOWN championship. I'm gonna put it on the screen, but Marco, you're not champion. Don't even.
Oh wow,
don't
look
even
at that.
think about it.
Try to hold it up on this side. There we go.
Yeah. I'm holding it right here. I'm currently your RAWDOWN predictions champion, and it is time to defend this championship because we have a new pay-per-view, a brand new pay-per-view coming this Saturday. Right? Saturday or something? It doesn't matter.
Saturday. You're
Saturday.
correct.
Saturday.
You're correct.
Day
It's on
one.
Saturday.
Nick Khan's invention. Apparently,
His
it
baby.
is slated to be one of the bigger pay-per-views of the year. And
See.
so we have to do our part in predicting what is going to come about this card. We have 7 matches that are slated to be on the main show. Who knows if we'll get a pre-show match? But we are going to talk about each and every one of these matches. So let's get the obvious out of the way. Who's going to win this one? Is it Drew?
Drew. Duh.
I think it's pretty safe to say.
You don't think they're gonna swerve and have him like lose by DQ or something like that, or
If Mad
or
Cow,
Corbin,
Nope.
Mad Cow
involved.
Moss, Mad
Mad Cow
Moss,
disease,
Mad Cow
Moss.
disease. If he wins the show, I quit the RAWDOWN.
No.
Oh, no.
Well, he's
Oh,
not quitting the RAWDOWN. I think he's pretty safe.
Yeah, no, he
Yeah,
definitely McIntyre. Yeah, he's.
Yeah, it's got to be McIntyre.
So
I have to
Drew,
write
yeah.
these predictions down.
It's gonna be a
What am-
fast match. It's not gonna be a long one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go. You do your hosting duties. I got you.
Oh, thank you. Taking some workload off me here. Anyway, let us move on to the next match. We've got the tag team championships on the line as we have RK Bro defending against the Street Profits. Let's start off with Tom. Who do you got and why?
I'm going to go Street Profits because maybe this is where RK Bro breaks up.
That is definitely a good explanation. Marco, who are we thinking?
RK Bro. I don't see them losing any steam anytime soon.
Yeah,
Too much merch out there.
true.
That's how I predicted one of the.
Listen, let's fire our number one merch seller and kind of throw
Yeah,
that
I
out
mean
the
that's.
window, but-
Hey, I think when we did the predictions for WrestleMania, and Sheena picked Sasha Banks to defeat and retain her title. I was like, Bianca's winning, man. I was like that. She has that it was like WrestleMania, but EST was in the middle of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
She had that shirt.
Oh.
I was like, that shirt's out there, man. She's not losing. And well, she
But
won.
they
So
fired the Fiend, who is their number one merch seller. So
yeah, I mean that is also true. But yeah, I'm gonna go with RK Bro, the 3 most dangerous letters in professional wrestling.
I will never understand. Bro is not a letter. I don't know. Anyways, Boney, who do you got?
Man, this is kind of tough. I don't think we're gonna see the end of RK Bro yet, but I think it's coming.
Yeah.
I'll
So
predict we're going to see RK Bro wrestle each other at WrestleMania.
I think
on
so
that
too. I think so too. I put this actually in the Chick-fil-A group yesterday. I think we're going to see Riddle turn on Orton.
No way.
That's my prediction. But because everybody's expecting Orton to turn on him, you know.
Yeah.
It just could be such a good promo from RK. Well, I mean, maybe they could do it the other way. Maybe you're right.
Yeah.
Interesting. It'd be
course
more
I'm
interesting that way.
Look at the name. Look at the name. Look at the name. Boom. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with RK Bro retains.
Yeah, I'm also going to go with RK Bro. I feel like if they're going to do
Ooh.
something to split them up, it'll be at the Rumble. One of them will eliminate the other, and that
Yeah,
will
it
be
could
the
be the
start of
Rumble.
the tension.
Yeah.
So I'll go with RK Bro on this one.
Well,
So
this could be it could be good or bad for you, Tom. We'll see.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true. All right, let us move on to our next match. We have the Raw Women's Championship on the line as Becky Lynch defends against Liv Morgan. Let's start with Boney. What do you got?
I think I hate to say this. I'd like to see Liv with the title, but it's not going to happen. Becky's going to walk into Mania as the champ. Becky Lynch.
It's very fair. Very fair. Marco.
Yeah, definitely Becky Lynch. She's gonna retain. She'll figure out a way to beat Liv. I mean, it'd be a huge pop if Liv does win, but yeah, I'm with Boney over there. It's she's walking into WrestleMania with that title.
Tom?
Young Anthony, you go first.
Oh, you want me to go? You know, I feel like the whole talk of Nick Khan wanting this to be like a big show is leaning me towards we might see some big surprises here. And that's why I'm going to pick Becky Lynch to retain because I'm not brave enough to make that prediction.
Swerve me.
Safe pick.
I'll make the safe pick this time around, but do stay tuned.
It was a swerve, bro.
I'll give it to Becky.
I'm gonna use the one testicle I have left and pick Liv.
Holy shit. Any reason?
Because I had testicle cancer. I mean, why I pick Liv?
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
my God, jeez.
Oh. I just seems the way the story's going, which means it'll probably be Becky that wins. But I'm just going Liv. I want her to win.
I still
Like
think Liv is primed to win the Rumble. That's also why I'm kind of leaning towards Becky.
Yeah, and if they actually had like a segment on Raw this past Monday, I probably would have maybe went Liv. But like,
Yeah,
they had the first match. Like, it just doesn't make sense for her to go lose to her twice in a row. I mean, WWE sense it's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But if you want to make sense out of it, Liv should win here.
They
So
had
I'm
that
going
weird
Liv.
angle or that weird backstage thing where they were like in a training session. She Liv went to go attack Becky, and it's like, man,
Yeah.
took the whole steam out of the whole program because it was so great at first, and I was just like,
Yeah, I didn't see that either. So.
it was so bad. Don't
Yeah,
go
it was
watch
awful.
Oh, I
it.
will.
It was bad.
I'll just keep following Liv on Instagram.
There you go.
Tyson also is giving his predictions. He says the Street Profits and Liv Morgan. So he is with you, Tom. He is with you.
That's right. He's an OG Fig Kid guy.
I can see that. He's man.
It could happen. Like I
It's
thought
possible.
the place to do it if they were going to put the title on her was that first match. So
That's what I
Agreed.
thought because of the hype. Yeah.
It never happens in the first match.
So we will see, but we're gonna move on to another tag team match. The Usos versus the New Day. How many times are we gonna see this match? I'm not looking forward to it, to be completely honest with you. Tom, who do you have winning?
I don't care. Oh wait, did I say that out loud?
You did, but I'm with you.
Wait, are the Usos the champs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with the New Day.
Jeez. Tom's just wanting to lose the championship.
You know,
I know.
I will actually side with you, Tom. I think the New Day
Thank
is
you.
going to win this.
Oh,
I feel like
wow.
it's better to walk into Mania with the New Day as your champions, just because there's a lot more options here. And Marco, to your point, there's a lot of merch to be made with the New Day.
And I think
So,
it adds to the story of Roman getting pissed at his cousins for losing. And
True.
maybe all of a sudden he's surrounded by nobody. Paul Heyman's gone. The Usos are gone. Makes the story a little interesting.
Yeah.
He's the head of the empty table.
And you know what? You know what? We have King Xavier Woods. Why not? Yeah, I'm gonna go with y'all. New Day. Convince me.
Wow, I've swayed everybody.
But have we swayed Marco?
Dang. See, I was gonna go with. I want to go with the New Day too as well.
What you got?
But it just seems like since Paul Heyman, since the firing of Paul Heyman, this might be kind of like, I don't want to say it's the end of the bloodline or anything like that. Because it'll be kind of relegated to just, helping Roman Reigns win. They won't have to focus on the tag team titles as much. And it just seems like not that they're boring. They're a boring tag team because they're a great tag team. I think the New Day would be better. That figure is so awesome. I think it'd be better if the New Day, like, they're walking into like a Royal Rumble or WrestleMania as the tag team champ. So yeah, I'm gonna go with New Day on this. So Usos are, hopefully they lose this Saturday.
So far, me, Marco, and Young Anthony have the same picks. So there's
Wow.
gonna be some break here somewhere, breaking the shuffle.
I think this is where we have to break it because we've got a big match coming up. WWE Championship. I'll start us off. Kevin Owens to win. That's my big prediction.
That's my pick.
Go.
You stole my pick. The guy
That's
with the
my
new
pick,
contract is getting the title.
Oh no! Is everyone going Kevin Owens? Oh shit, Marco, who are you going with?
Oh man, should I make it fun and go with someone else, or should I go with?
Go with who you were gonna pick.
Go with who? Go with your gut.
Man, that is very enticing that he didn't sign a new deal, and he could be getting a title soon. But that also could mean he wins the Royal Rumble. And then
Big E wins the Rumble, and then he gets his WrestleMania moment.
You think so?
Yeah.
Who does he pick though? Whoever the champ. Who does he?
Kevin Owens for the revenge.
That's not
That's
not a very enticing WrestleMania match. Personally, for me,
I don't think it is either.
I think actually he dropped. Owens is the paper champion. He drops it at the end of at the Rumble back to Big E. Lashley wins the Rumble. You get Lashley, Big E. That's my pick.
That's not exciting at all either.
You know what? I'm gonna go with the Architect.
Wow.
I'm gonna go with Monday Night Rollins.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's hope he's there.
Seth,
that's true. Yes,
very true.
Yeah. What happens if he's not there? Do I get a second pick? How does this work?
So then, how about
the backup guy?
Since you were going with Rollins, if they replace Rollins with someone immediately, that is your pick.
Oh my
However,
God. It's gonna be freaking.
If they don't replace him, they're gonna replace him with Madcap Moss. If they
Corbin,
don't replace him and they take him out, then I don't know.
They make him
you lose.
You just lose.
You lose. Good
but
day,
maybe,
sir.
All right. Yeah. No, I'm
We'll
gonna go with Rollins. I think it's just his time.
I think he'll be back. I think he'll be there.
Yeah, I think he'll be there in time.
If they're doing that 5-day thing now, he'll be there.
I thought
Rollins was going to be next in line, honestly, with the reaction that he got in Brooklyn. Like, I don't know. I thought he was like really like. I think he's reached his like peak.
Oh, he got a reaction, all right.
Oh.
I mean, it could. I mean, it's also it could. I mean, you could go Bobby Lashley too, where Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins kind of they like working together, and then something happens during that match where signals get crossed, and then Bobby Lashley takes advantage, and that could possibly happen too. But I mean, because he's looking like he's primed for another title run at some point, the Almighty.
Yeah,
Bobby
but I think maybe MVP will be involved, but not for Lashley's benefit.
I like how nobody picked Big E, and I love Big E.
Oh, I love too.
He actually might walk away with the title. He might actually retain.
Yeah.
He very well could.
No.
He very well could.
Yeah. But yeah.
I think
Kevin Owens doesn't win it, Big E will.
I think you can make a call for any one of these guys. So it's gonna be a good match.
Yeah. Hopefully they all make it.
Yeah, I know.
Hopefully it's just not Kevin Owens standing
do at WrestleMania. Like, what's your WWE title match? Like, what are they building towards? Because if you take the title off of Big E, who is
this
there?
Is what I miss about the WWF of the old days, because it used to be like around Survivor Series, you could see what the big match was going to be, and you'd start getting exciting for it. And now, like, here we are.
You don't even know you're going to get at the Royal Rumble.
Exactly. Like, this is
like what if this not that this is going to happen, but what if it's something where the Usos lose their titles, and then for some reason Roman Reigns loses to Brock Lesnar, and now that leaves Roman Reigns to enter the Royal Rumble. Probably win the Rumble, and then if Seth Rollins does win, that could be a WrestleMania match.
Now,
You get
see,
your Seth
that would be
Rollins
a good
versus
match. I'd love to
Roman
see
Reigns, where Seth Rollins is obviously the baby face of the matter, and Roman Reigns is that and he has the Uso still to help him out. But I mean that's the only thing I can think. I mean, for WrestleMania this year, who knows? It could be Thunderdome 2.0. And it might be the Thunderdome again.
Don't even speak it into existence.
I mean, besides Kofi and Daniel Bryan, the WWE Championship match haven't been, which is a shame.
That was the last. To me, that was the last like great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like feeling like that was probably the best match in recent memory for the WWE Championship.
Which sucks because that's the title history. Like that's the title.
Yeah,
it's not the Universal title. That's what aggravates me so much.
Yeah,
I agree with you, JBone, 100%.
Yep.
Yeah, that match was awesome, man.
Yeah, it really was. A lot of interesting picks so far as we move on to Edge versus The Miz. Probably the better story that's going on right now in the WWE. Let's go with Boney. Who are you going with?
I'm going to go with the awesome pick, The Miz. He's gonna beat Edge.
Wow. What makes you lean towards The Miz?
It will continue their feud because we know they like to do that. Into whatever the next pay-per-view is, Backlash or whatever, Royal Rumble. I guess Royal Rumble they'll feud within the Royal Rumble match. Edge will dump over Miz, blah, 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 into the next pay-per-view. Edge will get his win back. So I'm going to go with The Miz.
Good pick.
I'm going Edge.
Let's go with Tom.
Edge. I'm living on the edge with that pick.
Living on the edge. I'm also going to go with Edge because I don't think that this feud is going to continue. I think this was just a nice little entry for The Miz and Edge to come back. And I think Edge is going to move on. And we're finally at WrestleMania going to get Edge versus AJ Styles. That is my big prediction.
That'd be awesome.
I think this is just a tune-up match for Edge.
That'd be a great match. Come on, give it to me.
It would steal the show if they did that match.
You don't think they're saving Omos and AJ Styles for WrestleMania?
God, please, no. Please. No. Don't give them any ideas.
I would rather see AJ Styles versus Grayson Waller than I would see Omos.
I'd rather see Bastion Booger versus TL Hopper.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Edge as well. I think this is a one and done. Yeah, I think this is basically just let's set this match up for this, like we've been talking about. It's the next big pay-per-view that they're going to have. So you have to have your marquee guys on there. So yeah, I'm going to go with
good point.
With Edge winning, and it's going to be a one and done. Not going to be a blood feud like Seth Rollins, like that trilogy there, because you can't copy that again.
I think Edge just needs a short feud. I feel like he's had so many long feuds with Orton and Rollins. I think it's time for him to just get a quick feud and then move on to another big feud.
Pull up that comment by Tyson. I love it. Boom.
Ooh, yeah. Yep. I mean, that might happen anyway.
Yeah, that's probably going to happen.
Yeah.
Beth could honestly interfere in this match, and that could be the end of it. But do we get the mixed tag team match?
You can get that at Royal Rumble.
I feel like Mania definitely.
No, not Mania.
No, they can't do that again. They did that with Daniel Bryan.
However, so Beth Phoenix, removes herself from NXT commentary. You need some time to get back in the ring.
Yeah.
So do they hold the match until Mania so that she has that time to get back, or has she?
They're not going to do
those
that.
Matches. No.
Edge wants some. No offense to Beth Phoenix and Maurice, but Edge wants some banger matches. He doesn't have a whole lot of left in the tank.
Yeah.
He's not going to waste it on a mixed tag match. Like no offense or anything like that, but
true.
Honestly,
Edge is a family man. He might want to do this match with Beth.
I feel like for if you're gonna do stuff for WrestleMania, you have to me, like, you have to top Triple H and Stephanie versus Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey. Like, you have to, like, top that type of
Yeah.
that hasn't been done yet. They haven't
No.
done that, like, type of match in WrestleMania.
You're
Yeah.
telling me you didn't like John Cena and Nikki Bella going up against The Miz and Maurice?
No,
I
mean,
got
you
that
can't-
2-pack of the Miz and Maurice dressed as Cena and
Oh yeah,
It's actually pretty good, but
Yeah.
I guess I feel you have to top that mixed tag match, and that you can still go back and watch that match, and that match was
Yeah.
entertaining as hell. That crowd was going nuts during that match.
honestly,
so.
I'd much rather see Beth Phoenix come back and go on a singles run for a while. Imagine her versus Becky. That'd be a good match.
Her and Charlotte would
That's
be.
some
That's
good
like a
matches
dream
she could
match.
have
Charlotte
right
would
now.
be
If
good,
she
yeah.
can come back for a year, do a good year run.
maybe Beth wins the Royal Rumble.
I hope so. I'd pop for that.
That'd be
The
crazy.
Royal Rumble picks this year for us are going to be interesting. That'll be the next Raw Down Championship, which I will still be champion by then. But
my god!
nevertheless, we
You're
move
mute
on
button?
to our last match, the big one, Roman and Brock. What, like, I was gonna say 2, but like they've wrestled millions of other times before. Marco, who do you got?
He had to go with the head of the table. He's carrying that title well into WrestleMania. I don't see him losing. You know, I did say there was a scenario where he could lose and then enter the Rumble, but yeah, I think he's.
I do like that scenario though.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? He could actually just enter the Rumble like Brock Lesnar did. Brock Lesnar was the Universal Champion. He,
Sure.
you remember he dominated the first half of it. He decimated everybody until Drew McIntyre showed up. But so that could happen. So he still could show up in the Rumble. But you got to go with have to go with Roman Reigns. I mean, the Reigns train is just going to roll right through. It's going to be a difficult match because we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if there's going to be an assist from Paul Heyman on either side. So this is one of the intriguing matches for me, anyway. Just to see how the story just to go back on what Tom said. You know, it's one of the best storylines that they have going in wrestling right now. So we get to see the continuation of it and how it's gonna.
I'd say one of the best storylines in WWE.
Not in wrestling at all.
No,
I mean,
WWE.
Okay, all right. I don't know if there's anything better, but
I mean, right now the Hangman, Bryan Danielson.
Tom likes a bunch of ties. He likes everybody to hug each other.
I'm here for the story all day long.
He's just like, hey, let's
It's
all
in the
win.
top. It's definitely in the top of all wrestling.
Let's all get participation awards.
Tom likes
you're
his
not a-
stories to be 60 minutes, and then he comes up with a decision on what he likes and doesn't like.
see, I would go. I mean, if I'm gonna go like AEW, I'm gonna go Punk and MJF.
That's another great story. See,
Well,
you're
that's-
making my points.
But I'm gonna go that over Hangman
That's
and
another great story.
Bryan
I mean, I
Danielson,
didn't even think of that. So there's 2 right there.
yeah.
Boom. So, no doubt Roman wins this match. No
Yeah.
doubt. Paul Heyman's going to come out, and the whole thing was a ruse, and he's going to help Roman win. He's got his smart man back, or whatever, wise one, whatever he calls
The
him.
wise
man.
man. The wise man.
Wise man. So,
Book a man. Who do you
The
got?
council.
Yeah, exactly what Tom just said. I mean, that's my exact thoughts. Roman, I think we're gonna see a swerve. Paul Heyman's gonna be Paul Heyman. He's gonna be a big fat liar, and old Brock Lesnar had a farm. E-I-E-I-O.
I can't wait for the. I love this look on Brock. I love this version. of Brock.
I love Farmer Brock. He rules.
You know, we didn't have it in the awards, but the best segment of the year, him and Sami Zayn just talking to each other.
Oh my god.
Two Canadian alpha males.
That was actually really good.
Let's go fishing. Tyson's comment is exactly what I think is going to happen. Roman wins. Heyman does the swerve.
Yeah.
And but do they carry this into
I
Mania?
just said the same thing, and you're giving him credit.
I give it to Tyson any day of the week before I give it to you.
Yeah, Tyson, you came up with that like way before anyone. It's great. That's awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But do they? But do they carry this story into Mania? Is the question that I feel like I've asked millions of times already. But
please no.
do we do Roman and Brock? And if not, who do we do Roman against?
Jeff
Hardy.
I
Oh,
see,
wait, no.
I
Jeff
see
Hardy.
Roman and Brock at WrestleMania again.
That's probably gonna happen.
Roman and Mad Cow Moss.
Madcap, yeah, Mad.
No, he's Mad Cow. He gives me Mad Cow disease. So he's Mad Cow.
Dang, I mean, another scenario could be Brock Lesnar enters the Rumble and wins the Rumble, and then picks Roman again.
Both of them.
Michael Scott. No, God, please, no.
The only thing I don't want is a triple threat at WrestleMania for the titles. No, can you just give me 2 singles matches, please?
Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about on the debate how Tony Khan doesn't have any balls. Triple threat, you don't have any balls. Make a decision. God damn it.
You have you have Goldberg too. He could return. That could be a triple threat main event. Goldberg, Reigns, and Brock.
We never got that Roman and Goldberg match.
Yeah, we never got it.
So.
We could
still a dream match in somebody's eyes.
It could be a surprise entrant in the Rumble. Goldberg
really not.
Please steers his way to the top.
Because the only other guy is Drew, but like they haven't really booked him well. I mean, you have time. They could technically do. That's what I was thinking was
Drew and Reigns.
Like Drew was robbed of his Mania moment with a crowd. What if you have Drew win the Rumble again?
Could be
have
happening
Roman
again.
and Drew. I mean, that's really all I can think of. Unless Brock and Roman happens again, which I don't want to see. Roman and Brock is my bold prediction. I
think that's for next WrestleMania. That's not for this WrestleMania.
I really wish it's for this WrestleMania because
I do too. I
do
too. I wish it was.
It needs to be.
Yeah.
You got to sell 200,000 tickets.
Exactly.
They're already having promotions trying to get rid of tickets. Buy 3, get 1
Buy
free.
3, get 1 free.
Tickets are not selling. You couldn't pay me to go to this WrestleMania.
Yeah, that means The Rock isn't showing up anytime soon.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, Marco, that's an excellent point because if he was, they would not be doing those promotions.
Yeah, they would have announced it
just nailed it
months ago if he was going to be there.
Yeah,
the Rock's about to buy WWE.
I'm there for that all day. He'll be letting guys cut promos and not scripting them.
True.
Very true. And that's it. That's all the matches. So I think we all agreed on Roman for that one. So Boney, you have all of our predictions. You don't have to read them all over again.
We've got some differences. So I think
we do have some differences, some similarities, but a lot of differences. So it's going to make next week's episode of the Raw Down very, very interesting.
Just like
be here or don't.
Just like the Fink. just like the Fink used to say, there must be a winner.
So will this championship stay around my waist? It's not really around my waist right now. I gotta hold it. So will I be holding on to the championship come next week? I think I will be.
I think it's new year, new champ. That's what I think is going to happen.
I don't know.
I'm not saying it's going to be me, but I'm going to predict new year, new champ.
You got some challengers in there, you know.
I'm going Bruno with the championship. God damn it! How many years did he hold that belt? I'm going to hold it for a year longer. Nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to close out today's episode of the Raw Down. Before we do so, let's go around and plug some stuff. Marco, our new member of the Raw Down, go ahead and plug the Chick Foley podcast.
Oh man, so Chick Foley show. Obviously, you have Sheena, myself. You have the Hale husband, Seth Phelps, just reigning terror on all things wrestling and figures. But you can catch me on Chick Foley show on Twitter. Catch Sheena over at Chick Foley on IG, and obviously we have if you don't know, we have a Patreon account. So chickfoleyshow.com.
Yep, you can talk to all of us.
Yep, a dollar.
Young Anthony, he's not invited.
No, he's I mean, not yet anyway. But Buck gets you in. We talk figures. We buy figures for each other. We talk wrestling. We do pay-per-view live chats. So
we're fun.
Day one. So this upcoming Saturday, we'll have a live chat going with everybody. Those are very entertaining and fun too. So
get in on that one.
And obviously, Pod Foundation. I mean, check us out. We're
with our newest member coming down the aisle.
Yep. Right there.
Point down.
This guy over. He's on this side. No, this
Yeah,
side.
right,
Okay,
right
there we go.
here.
Yep, right there. There he is.
Boney, talk about coming down the aisle.
Coming down the aisle, like I talked about, we got Chad on this week, and then I'll have a new Free the Fig. Just dropped a new one. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
So
Love that
sick.
Figure.
Such
Talk
a good
about
figure.
this figure. I don't have the full figures.
Bloody
It's over
Brit.
there. It's over there somewhere.
Bloody Brit.
So check that out. I think I'm gonna probably do. I haven't decided what. Good lord.
That looks actually kind of like creepy up close.
Looks like Carrie.
I know.
I'm probably gonna do. I don't know. Maybe. Oh, you know what? I got some things back here. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe this one I'll do.
That
Little Free the
was
Fig.
here.
Yeah.
That
So
was
check it
under
out.
my Christmas tree.
Yep. Check it out. YouTube. Go head over to my YouTube. Just search "Coming Down the Aisle" with John Swallow, and subscribe today.
Tom, plug the tavern.
Guys, go to the turnbuckletavern.com. TheTurnbuckleTavern.com. Get all of our links. Follow us everywhere. Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Our TikTok is exploding. Chad's making great videos.
It's great.
They're
funny.
hysterical. Just check us out everywhere we are. And if you need a shirt, you could go and get a Young Anthony shirt. I don't know why. You could get a Boney Khan shirt. That's a cool shirt. There'll be a Paw Paw. You could go get a Turnbuckle Tavern shirt. A couple of them. There's an OG Fig Kid shirt there. ProWrestlingTees.com Tavern. And for all of our links, TheTurnbuckleTavern.com.
And of course, make sure you tune into the Raw Down every Tuesday at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And of course, now coming next week, make sure you tune into the Raw Down podcast, where you're going to hear us every Wednesday. It'll be
You don't have to
dropping.
look at
every
our
Wednesday.
faces.
I know. Well,
Yeah.
maybe you could
Better.
watch us and then listen to us again. I'm sure Tyson will be doing that. So
Oh, yeah,
that
definitely.
covers
Tyson's
those
a
bases.
man.
Tyson's great, and Tyson is definitely just shout out to him, man. He's supporting not only the tavern but all of Pod Foundation and
Everywhere.
Young Anthony and everything like that. So
Can
thanks,
always
Tyson.
count on Tyson.
Yeah.
Oh, Tyson.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Thank you very much. Yes, I
That's
was
great.
planning on bringing it back, but
Yeah, I finally get to make my appearance and it gets canceled before I even get on there.
Wow.
yes, some behind the screen stuff going on. But eventually, Titantron will be coming back just before you know it. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to yet another edition of the Raw Down. If you like what you saw, make sure to drop a like on this video. Do it right now because it helps so much. Leave a comment telling us who your winners of the Raw Down Ribbon Awards are, your predictions of day one. If you watch Raw or SmackDown, tell us what you thought about it. Please, please, please leave a comment and drop a like. It goes a long way. And while you're at it, subscribe to the Turnbuckle Tavern YouTube page and do everything that Tom said and all the other guys. Support everyone. We're doing some amazing stuff. Ladies
Don't
and gentlemen,
forget,
thank you.
GoFundMe.com/Young Anthony to help him pay the electric bill.
Yes,
Get
it's
him
really
some light in that
important.
house.
I have to
It's-
do a random figure too because
Yes.
everyone else is doing it.
Yes.
I don't have a
Hey,
figure on me, unfortunately. I have the lay, but I'm not going to bring that out. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Take care, spike your hair. Woo, woo, woo.
You know it.
Know it.